Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Rodeo Time, the podcast. We have NFR Rodeo Cowboy Tanner Butner in the house. We're going to talk about his recent arena record. We're going to talk about his path to getting to the NFR and what it took for him mentally to get there, and some of his secrets to success that he has he's used on that path. And we're going to hear the Tanner Butner story. So if you love rodeo, if you love bronc riding, if you love success stories, this is one for you. Tune in and enjoy the listen. We'd love to thank our great sponsors that keep the world going around here in Winnebago. Rock and Roll Denim was the very first sponsor coming up on, it'll be about 9 years ago that Rock and Roll reached out to me. American hats.
My, how long it's been.
American hats. I like to pull it down where it crunches my ears down a little bit. Can-Am side-by-sides. So that's what we ranch with. That's what we feed with. When I say ranch, I mean we just gathered like the wild cattle with it. You know, that way Boone doesn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Mostly we use them to feed.
Gotta keep him healthy.
Yep. And what we feed Boone and how we keep him healthy is total feeds. So he's 22. He's still ranching. He hasn't had hay in years. He just got that total feeds is a complete feed, and he gets just total feeds. Last but not least, Mountain Ops, brand new sponsor. Love the energy, ignite, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna ignite this podcast.
Yep. Speaking of Boone though, did you see him buck with Ryder Right?
Yes.
Yep. Right.
Bucked him off too.
Oh man,
bucked him off. No, I'm just kidding. Ryder Right doesn't get bucked off. And if he was gonna get bucked off, it ain't gonna be by Boone.
Yeah.
He goes in there to pick up the first bronc, and it was just me, and he goes, "Man, I was coming in there, but Boone, he started bucking, like damn near caught me by surprise."
And then when I came around the corner, I was like, Cole, if you try to pick me up, I'm going to push you off your horse. I want Ryder Right to pick me up on Boone. Yep. That's how I want this to play out.
No, that's not quite what happened. He just rode around, and you went, "You suck, Cole."
Yeah. Well, you kept cutting him off.
Whatever works.
Oh, I didn't cut.
Now on to the podcast. We got the man Butner in the house. Tanner, what are you doing in Texas?
I'll just hanging out for the winter, hitting some rodeos.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Got a few big ones down here in the winter time.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Did you start with Odessa?
No, we skipped out on Odessa. Fort Worth be the first one down here.
Yes, sir. How did Denver go?
Denver went good. I think I ended up second there, and Sage was third or fourth, so
yep,
we did pretty good.
Y'all been buddying so far?
Yep. Yeah.
Did y'all buddy last year?
Yep. It was Sage Newman, Chase Brooks, Colby Wanchuk, and me.
Okay. So we're talking about saddle bronc, a saddle bronc riding crew here, buddy group, and whenever you guys enter a pro rodeo, you are allowed to. Well, when you enter, you don't know what night. You may have a preference.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call it. You have a preference of, I'd like to go Saturday night. My second preference is Friday night, or Saturday or nothing.
Yep.
And you're allowed to enter that with up to 3 buddies. So there's a 4-man buddy group is what's possible. And whatever night that they don't split you up is how that works. And that's one of the benefits of, whenever you're entering in with buddies, like if you're all traveling together, well, it makes sense that you get out the same night at each rodeo. So if you enter properly, you could be, your weekend could be set up where you're going to Odessa and then going up to Denver and then back down here to Fort Worth and
Yep.
San Antonio, Belton, etc. Well, you want to be out the same night as your buddy. So throughout the year, typically guys will have buddy groups, and sometimes you jump around different ones, but you went pretty much the whole year with Sage.
Yep. All 4 of them. Like during the winter, we try to split up, go 2 and 2 because everything's got the bracket system.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so you're not riding against each other.
we don't want to be riding against each other. So to make it so we got better odds, we split up during the winter, go 2 and 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So Fort Worth has the bracket that he's talking about, and essentially like you got these groups of guys riding against each other, and there's different sets, and they'll take so many from each set.
Mm-hmm.
So previously, the way Fort Worth was set up is like you had, 18 perfs.
Yep.
Top 12 out of those 18. So your first perf guy was competing against your ninth perf guy was competing against your 14th perf guy.
Yep.
And then those top 12 make it to the short go. Well, now it's like he said, it's like a bracket, and they'll take so many from each couple of nights.
Yep.
And so that's why you guys broke it up. So did you just kind of, how'd you decide who was going with who out of that buddy group?
Well, I don't decide anything. We leave all that up to Chase. They just tell me when and where to get in the pickup.
Yeah. Is that how all three of everyone outside of Chase are? You guys just let Chase make all the decisions? I'm sure.
Kinda. Colby likes to get in the middle of it every once in a while, but usually it just confuses Chase, so we tell him to shut up.
And then you and Sage are just like,
yeah,
best case, whatever.
Yeah, we just get told when to get in and when to get on.
Right. Yeah, I would say I've been in both positions, having to make all the decisions and then letting the decisions be made for me.
Mm-hmm.
Much less stressful that way.
Oh, it's way better.
And you always have someone to blame.
Yeah. Yeah, we can always call Chase and cuss him out.
Yeah, like man, I just didn't ride good tonight.
You know whose fault this was?
Why'd you put us up this perf? It was terrible.
That dadgum Chase. So Chase entered you and Sade. Does he actually enter you also?
Like right now, no. We just kind of visit with each other and get it figured out where we want it set up, and then we go and enter ourselves. But
gotcha.
Like when the summer hits and we're really full throttle, then he'll start entering all of us.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you'll go to San Antonio.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about Fort Worth. How has Fort Worth gone for you so far?
Pretty dang good. Made it out of the long round. Get on semis tomorrow.
Get on what?
Get on in the semifinals.
Oh,
tomorrow.
in the semis. I thought you said
Yeah.
a horse's name.
No. I think I got a business girl
Okay.
tomorrow.
Skipping the part.
Well,
First
whenever I said, how'd you do in Fort Worth, you should have said, better than anyone ever has
Yeah.
in the history of Fort Worth bronc riding.
Yep. Yeah.
Meaning arena record.
People got to ride up now.
Right.
Yeah. Damn, I can't remember who was it said like, gosh dang, it's on the tip of my tongue. Who said that? I heard him say behind, dang, you only left us 8 points.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or something.
Yep.
You only left us 7.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like you only left them 6. Was it 94? You were
94, yep.
Yeah.
You only left us 6 points. Walk us through that ride.
Man, it was wild. I didn't really even know what the horse was, which not saying much because I can't remember what I just got on yesterday.
So you're also one of those guys.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. But yeah, the whole time in the locker room, everybody's like, "Oh shit, Butner, you don't even need to put rosin on or anything. This thing's just a hopper." So, like, I knew it bucked, but then everybody kept saying that, and I was like, this isn't adding up quite right.
It's either not adding up quite right or it's adding up perfectly.
Yeah. Yep. And yeah, sure enough, first couple jumps out of there, I was like, "Holy crap. Got to freaking gas this thing because it ain't going like a hopper."
You were glad you had rosin.
Yeah. Yeah. Rosin was a good thing.
Yeah. So first couple of jumps, kind of a fist fight. Then what? How'd you feel?
Oh, pretty dang good. Shoot, she lined out. It was just freaking awesome then. I mean, yeah, all you could ask for.
And what was the horse?
All or nothing.
Of?
I'm pretty sure it's Andrews.
Somebody's horse.
Yeah, this is Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. James back there flanking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's my boy.
Yeah.
like this.
Heck yeah.
That's me on top. So your second horse, was that your first one or is that your second one?
No, that was my second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the first one obviously went well also.
Yeah, it went good. I think I ended up 84 on it.
Yeah.
I think I was tied for fourth there.
So 84 and 94 were just enough to get you in.
Yeah, just slid in
to the semis.
Yep.
Which are so semis are tomorrow night and then finals are Saturday, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Sage made it back too, didn't he?
Yep, he did. Yeah, he's up tonight. They split semifinals up.
Okay.
They got two days of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he'll ride tonight and then I'll go tomorrow.
And then Chase, how'd they do?
Chase and Colby didn't make it out. I think both of them just barely missed it.
Yes, sir.
So
last year was your first NFR?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's back up. Get a lot of people on the podcast that are, aspiring rodeo cowboys, or wanting to get into ranching, or just fans of the sport. And I think let's just hear the Butner story. Like, how did it start for you?
Shoot, yeah, just grew up ranching and everything. Grandparents, dad, everybody kind of rodeoed a little bit, had something to do with it. And so when I got into high school, my older cousin, my brother, decided they wanted to start rodeoing. So, of course, I just joined in with them. And, yeah, we all went, got bronc saddles and everything, and just took off. Started high school rodeoing and didn't look back.
How old were you when you got on your first one?
Well, I rode a lot of ranch broncs before I ever got on a actual saddle bronc horse.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And I think I was in like 7th grade, I think. When I started doing that.
Was that 13, 14?
Yeah, I think around 13.
Why ranch bronc?
I was just a little ranch kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better.
Because you were a ranch kid and you liked broncs.
Yeah.
So ranch bronc made sense.
Yeah, it just sounded right.
It sounded right. How did it feel, though?
Turns out it was completely wrong.
It didn't feel as good as it sounded.
No. Just saddle bronc riding's way better. Way easier on you.
So how many ranch broncs did you get on?
Oh, shoot, I did it from 7th grade up to, so I went two summers riding ranch broncs.
Where were you?
In Pinedale, just hometown rodeo.
Pinedale.
Wyoming.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course, Pinedale, Wyoming.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the place.
Are there really that many ranch bronc ridings in Wyoming?
No, but we had a guy right there at home that he put on rodeo every week, and then we'd run to Jackson Hole and get on too.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, we were getting on 2-3 a week.
Yes, sir. How did that affect you starting out as a bronc rider?
Well, I'd like to say it made me be able to think through it, but that ain't right, because first one I got on, I didn't even make it past the chute gate.
Right.
Uh-huh.
They had to pick me up and kick me out of the way.
So you had been on, let's say, maybe 50 ranch
Yeah.
broncs?
Yeah, I've been pretty close, yeah.
I mean, just guessing out of 2 summers, because 2 summers in Wyoming is different than 2 summers in Texas, because
Yeah.
you guys only got like 2 months of summer.
Yeah, it don't last very long.
So I'm guessing you probably didn't go to a lot of ranch bronc ridings in January in Wyoming.
No.
So anyway, that's how I came up with 50.
Yeah.
Maybe 25 per summer.
Sounds about right.
And you're saying, as far as getting started riding saddle bronc horses, 0 help.
Yeah, like, shoot, had my grandparents and had another guy there that he got in a car wreck and broke his back, but he was rodeoing quite a bit, and went to him and he helped me out, give me spur board and everything, give me some pointers, and go hang out with him quite a bit, and he helped me get going, and then took all that home and just kept going with it.
How many did you get on before you felt like, okay, I can see a future in this. I can see a path to success. Like, how many was it before you weren't getting 2 jumped? Like your first one?
It was at least like 20 head, and I still never could stay in my saddle. So it probably took another 50 or 60 before I finally could sit in my saddle and kind of scratch at one.
Yes, sir.
So I bet by the time I really thought I had it figured out, had to be on like 100-some head of horses by then.
Yes, sir. What kind of saddle was it?
Started out in an old Severe.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Love it.
Started out in that, and then Mom and Dad helped me buy a G-Bar G, and then I rode that clear up till just last year.
And switched to a...
Dave Erlacher.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So what do you think, like, what was, you said 100, what is it fundamentally around 100 that you were focusing on that gave you that hope of, I'm starting to figure this out?
Staying in my saddle and actually being able to spur one every jump.
Yes, sir. So just covering horses.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And so at that point, you're what age?
Oh, I bet I was sophomore in high school then.
Yes, sir. And that's what year?
Like, age-wise?
Yeah, or what year was that?
Oh.
Like, was that four? I don't know how old you are.
I think it was about around 2013.
Okay. So
Yeah.
about 10 years.
Yeah.
And last year's your first NFR.
Mm-hmm.
So it took you 9 years to get there.
Yep.
Since you started.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a while.
I was talking, we had, or we didn't actually have Nathan Hart.
Oh.
Sorry. Cody Webster was on the podcast. We were talking about Nathan Hart. And he started getting on, or not getting on, he started fighting bulls. And 14 years later, he was fighting at the NFR.
Oh, yeah.
Bullfighting, how you get the path to the NFR is much different.
Yeah, way different
than saddle bronc, obviously. Yeah. But we were talking about the mindset. Had he known it was going to take him 14 years, would he have still gone down that path? And I guess that's my question to you. Like, had you known it was going to take you 9 years?
Yeah, I probably still would have done it.
Probably still would have done it.
Yeah.
I think so many times, like, as young people get this timeline in their head, like, all right, this year I'm going to do this, then the next year I'm going to do this.
Yep.
Then I'll be at the NFR,
Mm-hmm.
accomplish this goal, get my qualifications up, get my qualifications up, then I'm there.
I think everybody thinks that too. I mean, I know I did. Like, all right, got this done this year, gonna get so far the next year, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to the finals.
So how did you respond to the setbacks when that plan, your plan in your head, didn't come to fruition?
I said, screw it, we'll do it again next year. Going next year.
Yep.
Just gotta. I mean, that's what we're all shooting for, so can't ever let that get away from you. You're either going or you're not in your head.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about it on Patrick Smith, and I heard Chance Smart. He was a bull rider, went to NFR, and somebody was encouraging him. He said, well, what happens if you don't make it this year? Well, I guess I'll go next year. What happens if you don't make it next year? Well, I guess I'll go the next year.
Yeah.
And on and on and on. What about injuries? Do you have any of those along the way that?
As far as rodeoing, no. Always stayed pretty healthy rodeoing.
Dang, that's good news.
Yeah.
Aside from divine intervention.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Just lucky,
I don't have any wisdom or nothing for as far as not getting hurt goes.
Yes, sir.
You CrossFit though.
When I'm home and the missus makes me go in.
Your old lady has to make you work out.
Yeah.
Butner, we got to work out.
When did you get married?
Not married yet. Just got engaged this year right before the finals.
Congratulations.
Yep. or last year, whatever it is.
So, been riding broncs 9 years. Walk me through 2022.
It was freaking wild. I didn't do so good during the winter, and then over the 4th, got Prescott one and a couple others, and that got me right up. I think I was around the top 20 then, and then we just freaking hammered down and went to everything I could no matter what, and I can't even remember when it was that I actually hit top 15.
Sealed the deal.
But well,
you didn't seal the deal.
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Sterling and I had to duke it out the whole way.
Yeah,
but
that's son of a gun.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool though. It was fun. It made it fun.
Yeah,
made me appreciate it more. We really had to bust ass at the end.
It was right up until the end.
Did you see him at some of the rodeos that you were at the very end? Obviously, you saw him throughout the year, but September.
Yeah. Shoot, we we rode dang near same places towards the end.
Yeah,
and we flew. I guess he ended up taking a different flight back to Pendleton. We went to New Mexico and got on same day, and then we were up same days in Pendleton, and somehow it worked. We just followed each other around pretty much.
Yeah. I love Sterling. Yeah, so much. I've been knowing him a little while. He's got such a good attitude.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
I feel like Sage Newman, another cowboy with a really good attitude, I feel like be one of the coolest traveling partners.
Yeah.
What was that like?
You would think. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he is good. Shoot, the whole rig's good. We always have fun. It's pretty hard to get down with a bunch of guys like that, and he's dang sure good about keeping everybody's spirits up and rolling.
What's he like after a buck off?
Yeah, he's good. He'll kind of be a little grouchy about it for a minute, but
right.
I bet by the time he gets his stuff all put away, you're good to go.
That quick.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I'm sure some of them are a little harder than others.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone. But I feel like being able to have, short-term memory, a little bit of memory loss is probably
it's a good thing to have.
You're a pretty cool customer. Like, no matter what, I've never heard you get very excited or very upset about much. You know what I mean? Like, I always remember that interview you did. I can't remember the one you did with the sunglasses. Do you remember where that was? Somewhere down south. But you won that rodeo, and the gals, you answered it the exact same way. It's like, I didn't really know the horse until I got here. What were you thinking? I think I know the answer. Like, when you make the finals, you're going. Is there anything that you think you need to do? Like, do you change anything up, or is it just another rodeo for you?
Tried to treat it just like another rodeo.
Yeah.
But that is a hard friggin' rodeo to treat like any other one. Holy crap.
Which one?
The finals.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's when you were wearing the sunglasses?
Yeah, that was earlier. It was, but
Gotcha.
But they were asking me the question.
I was about to say, man, if you're
wearing
shades, what kind of douchebag does that?
Rough night.
Indoors.
Are there? So talking about the ones that you do get bucked off at, you have been bucked off at. Were there any in 22 that were significant enough that not only you remember them, but you remember being motivated by them?
Oh.
Or you shake them off pretty good and it's just on to the next one?
I like to just forget about them.
Yes, sir.
Just get some paybacks on the next one you get on.
Yep. I've just kind of been intrigued by that thought process, mainly just the wording I heard recently on a Joe Rogan podcast, listening to David Goggins. He said we don't have to learn how to respond to good things. So, like, you have a great bronc ride, you win a big check, win a rodeo that's significant to you. You don't have to necessarily be taught how to be happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
But when things go wrong, that is where a winner has to learn and have like a strategic playbook of how to control his emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And anyways, that's just been a thought on my mind for the last couple of weeks.
Well, that is a pretty good thought. Because, if you don't know how to lose, then it's not going to be very fun for you.
Right.
Nobody needs to teach you how to celebrate.
No.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like some people are like a little too celebrate too much, you know,
Right.
or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like in general, you know, like we don't necessarily have to be taught how to be happy.
No.
Right.
So some people might. There's always exceptions to the rule. Whatever. Don't get
Yeah.
lost in the details. But as a general rule of thumb,
Yeah.
is there anything that you feel like? What'd you do outside of the arena over those 9 years? We joked about you going to the gym.
Yeah. So I just go home and go to work. Got a place in Montana that's been letting me go cowboy for them whenever I'm home. So, yeah, I just get home and go straight back to work.
So same thing that Sage does.
Yeah.
What it sounds like.
Yep.
Do you get on? You get on the spur board any?
Yeah. I guess I made a makeshift one at the house.
A makeshift spur board.
Yeah, it works, but it's nothing real great.
NFR Rodeo Cowboy, tell me about your makeshift spur board.
It's just a sawhorse with a trailer mat thrown over the top of it. Yeah,
With a trailer mat. Gotcha.
yeah.
So it's a normal spur board. I got you.
Yeah.
It sounds it's funny. Like it's like you're one of the premier bronc riders. It's like, yeah, I got this sawhorse. I
Yeah.
threw a little blanket over it.
I guess I need one of these things now. You know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what Stetson said last week.
Mhm.
We were back here and Willie got on the Buckrite.
Oh, yeah.
It's a drop barrel, mechanical drop barrel.
Mm-hmm.
We got one because JB has one.
Yeah.
And so we put Willie on it. Stetson was like, yeah. And he said, turn your toes out. That was all he had. Well, anyways, then he got on it, didn't know how to turn it on. And he was just like, oh my gosh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I may have to get one, you know, like
Yeah.
doesn't get on practice bulls,
Yeah.
didn't have a drop, you know, didn't have any of the things
Yeah, that was the part we were asking him, like, man, you get on a lot of practice at home? He goes, no, Dad never would let me get on practice bulls at home.
well, he
Mhm.
wouldn't let him own them.
Oh, okay. I thought he just.
He said,
wouldn't
no,
buck 'em.
Dad wouldn't let us keep bulls.
Oh, yeah.
So they weren't there to be bucked.
Right.
But it's not necessarily that he just couldn't get on them. Like they weren't even allowed to have them in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just nonchalant about it. So what about practice horses? Did you get on a lot of those?
We, like, before the finals, went down and got on a couple of them. But it's a little hard to get on practice horses when it's negative 30 degrees up there.
Yep.
Well, yeah, you just got to go find a place and rent a barn for a day or whatever. It's pretty hard to get done unless one of them contractors up there is doing a school or something. And it's pretty hard to find good practice horses to go get on.
So over the 9 years, you primarily got on at the rodeos.
Pretty much, yeah.
Didn't really work out a whole lot and
No.
didn't get on a lot of practice horses.
Well, like in high school we did.
I'm not knocking it.
I know.
I'm not knocking it. The man's at the NFR.
Yeah.
Like, you just broke the arena record. Like that means you've ridden better at Fort Worth than anyone in the history
right.
of Fort Worth. Technically, is what that means. So I'm not knocking it. Please don't.
Yeah.
I'm not patron. I'm
No.
sincerely just
Yeah.
curious how this has.
So
Gone
like
about.
starting out when I was in high school, we did stock contractor from Jackson Hole. He let us take 4 or 5 horses home for the winter, and we had an indoor like 30 minutes down the road, and we'd round everybody up once a week or something and go get on then. But that was, I think, just did that for 2 years, and yeah, pretty much just.
And it's kind of an ordeal. So like there may be sometimes you don't have enough help, or
Oh yeah,
you know it's super cold. You don't want to drive
Yeah.
it got interesting.
30 minutes.
Like,
So
it was usually just me and my brother and my cousin that were getting on. Then there's a lot of times one of us would have to be flanking,
yes, sir.
tie one of the pickup horses up to the fence. Whoever popped the gate, as soon as they were out, kick that thing shut, jump on the pickup horse, and
Love it.
go pick up.
Love it.
Yeah.
So why not just pop the gate from top of the horse?
I was in a hurry. We didn't know what we were doing.
When I remember one time my mom was flanking.
Yeah.
And my dad the gate would be open.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't do it on a colt, because they'd pop the gate open.
Yeah.
The gate would be open. He would be horseback, and he would side pass over to the 90-degree area. And then, like, the gate is wide ass. I mean, like, the latch is open.
Yeah.
And so, like, you're sitting there, and then you kind of watch him out of your peripherals for him to get in position. And then when he does, you nod. He pulls it, and then he's got to shut it back, but he's already horseback. Of course, he was an old man, so he didn't want to. He probably didn't want to.
He didn't care. He's going to sit up on his horse no matter what.
Also, there was probably a lot less guarantee
Yeah.
that I was going to ride. Like, he needed to be horseback quicker for me.
Yeah.
Probably than you guys had to be horseback as quick for each other. Like, you could, a guy had 10 or 12 seconds.
Yeah, and Dad always stayed on his horse out in the arena, so there's at least one guy horseback.
That's awesome. That's making it work.
Yeah.
Bucking horses takes a lot of people.
Oh, man. Yeah. You don't really think about it till you're running a little skeleton crew trying to get it done.
You're flanking your own horse.
Yeah.
There was a couple people selling Mike Lee bull ropes that had a metal ring in the block because it was like a little bit fancier way to take a butterfly wrap. So he would bring that bull rope across his hand, the tip of the bull rope go through that ring, come back over, because he wanted to practice, but it was just him and his wife.
Oh.
So she would flank the bull, trip the latch, and then he was on his own, essentially, like she, and he didn't want her to have to work a hang-up.
Yeah.
I think he got knocked out and was hung up once, and maybe that's what motivated it. So don't quote me on that part, but I do know the ring in the block was a real thing.
Yeah.
But it was just him and his wife, so he could practice.
No kidding.
Riding bulls, it's just him and her. But bull riding, you don't need that many. You don't need.
Yeah, it's a little different,
especially if you know the bull.
Yeah.
But apparently he's getting on serious enough practice bulls that he
got to worry about that.
I feel like that's wanting it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that falls in the category of there's like two. One category is not wanting it. The other category is wanting it. I think that falls in the wanting it category.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for dang sure.
I think anybody that wants it doesn't matter what you had. If it was just you, you'd get on. If you wanted it that bad, I don't know.
I did it once where it was just my brother and I.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I've never done it just me. I've heard of guys like kicking the latch open.
Yeah.
But like on like a like something.
Right.
Like
pretty nice.
Felix or a steer, something. So the 94. Back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to ask about your favorite bronc ride from 2022, but did it feel as good as it looked on camera? Like, how did you feel when you hit the ground? Were you like, that was a damn good bronc ride?
Well, I was kind of wondering how it was going to go because Sage was just, 90 or 91 right before me. So I'm like, oh crap, here we go. I don't know what's going to happen here, but should be up in the money somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't hardly believe it. It was 94. I mean, I didn't know how it looked. I knew it was getting in there and doing some stuff. But yeah, kind of blew my mind, but same time I mean, I wasn't mad about it.
That's kind of your approach every bronc though.
Yeah.
I imagine.
A little bit, yeah.
You're just going to do your deal. And was there anything specific that what bronc in and bronc out? Like, are you focusing on just lifting? Was there something specific you're telling yourself that you'd been working on?
Yeah, I'm real bad about trying to sit up on everything. So usually when I'm getting on, it's just stay back, stay square, and don't miss a freaking jump.
Yeah. Do you feel like this 94 is a culmination of you working hard for the finals, getting on 10 ranked bucking horses, you push through, you go to Denver, and you've got some momentum personally in your riding that's still coming to fruition?
Oh yeah, definitely. I know in years past it's kind of hard to get rolling for these winter rodeos, and this year feels like I haven't even quit. Just rolling right through it. everything feels good. Like, I don't have to think about saddle being right or any of that. I know everything's good and we're going.
Heck yeah.
We talk a lot about, so like I get a lot of guys that are getting on their first something or first 10 head, or, you know, like we help a lot of people get started here.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, while we can go over fundamentals till we're blue in the face, at some point you got to get on, and then you got to ride your animal, but you got to take the fight. There's a level of fight that you have to go to.
Yeah.
Which if you got on ranch bronc horses, you knew about that long before you got on a saddle bronc horse. How do you address the fight after 10 years of getting on broncs on a day where you just feel blah?
You know, it don't matter. Shoot. Like, even if you feel like that and somebody walks up to you on the street and tries to punch you, like, you better step it up and give it all you got anyways.
Yeah.
So, same thing with bronc riding. Even if I don't feel good, as soon as I step over and sit on that sucker, it's game time. Like, better cock your hammer and be ready to roll.
Nice.
Yeah.
I never heard somebody explain it like, yeah, somebody on the street punches you in the face, like you gotta fight him.
That's a maybe situation.
Well,
when you're in I'm not picking apart I've thought about that. You know, I'm not picking apart your analogy. I think it's a perfect analogy. I think the thing is it's like, you know, you're in some shady spots on the street. You're like, man, something might go down.
Yeah.
Well, like in this analogy, it's gonna go down.
Right.
Yeah.
The gate will open.
Mm-hmm.
This horse will fight you. Matter of fact, if he doesn't, they're going to give you a different
Yeah.
horse.
You get to do it twice.
Yeah, they'll give you what's called a re-ride. Like there's guaranteed a fight.
Yep.
So they'd be like, you walk out the front door and you're walking down the street, then there's guaranteed
somebody's gonna punch you in the teeth.
And granted, you know, the benefit we have is that usually we know someone who has fought that bronc before,
Right.
so we get to, you know, we get a little insight.
Yeah, we get to figure it out a little bit.
What'd you go for rein on him, by the way? You don't remember? Are you that bronc rider?
Mm-hmm.
100%.
You broke the arena record a week ago, and you don't remember what you gave the horse.
Pretty sure it's 5.
XM5.
Yep.
Dang.
Yeah, it is. Because I had somebody trying to tell me it was double, but they'd never been on it.
Yeah.
And finally asked somebody that had been on it, and it's 5.
Did that person also tell you that it was a hopper?
Oh, yeah.
Dang, really?
Everybody was telling me it was. Nobody actually came clean until I talked to Zeke the day afterwards.
What pen do you feel like that horse fits in at the NFR?
Oh, definitely. Probably he fits in TV pen.
5 and 10.
Yep.
Dang, I was about to ask something.
Oh.
I was just picturing him. Was he at the NFR this last year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I think Zeke got on him in the 10th round this year, I think.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking everybody telling you it was a hopper. We were at Fort Worth for that ranch rodeo, and his buddy Dusty was getting on a ranch bronc, and we were back there and everything, helping with the saddle and everything. And DB finds the horse and everything. Goes, I know who owns this horse. Makes a phone call, and he's like, oh, all right. And Dusty's sitting there. He goes, well, what's he like? He goes, man, he's just good. He's just gonna go out there, just honest and everything. And Dusty's like, man, right on, rides away. And DB looks at me and goes, no, that sucker bucks. This is a bucking horse.
Yeah. Sometimes it's better to not know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Well, he was getting on a ranch bronc.
Yeah.
So, like, I figured out the rein for him.
Mm-hmm.
Felt better than I've ever felt about the rein. Got the rein from multiple people, measured it to his eye. He had an event, like, right before, so I had to saddle his bronc for him.
Yeah.
Whatever. Measured it to his eye. It came out to the exact same, and everything. It just felt good.
Everything was right.
And I was like, so long as I don't give him, like, a way off rein, other than that, all he needs to know is bear down. You know what I mean? Like, how much strategy is there to ranch bronc? It's like that street fight.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's not a boxing match. This is a street fight.
Yeah.
Saddle bronc is a boxing match.
Yeah.
But ranch bronc is a street fight, and anything goes whether you're the horse or the. And I feel like horses, when they get a stock saddle on them as opposed to a bronc saddle, like they are sometimes going to be different.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do a lot of different stuff.
You know better than I do. I've never nodded for a ranch bronc.
Yeah,
You get tough.
they do some pretty wild stuff.
How does it compare to, so a bucking horse with a stock saddle with no flank compared to a bucking horse with a stock saddle flanked?
Just a lot rougher. Of course, to me it was anyway. I hate my saddle horses bucking.
Yeah.
But yeah, that and just a regular saddle horse, they're not going to be near as committed to bucking.
Yeah.
As one that's flanked.
How did y'all meet?
At the ranch we're talking about there in Montana.
We went to school together.
Well,
yeah.
Went to school together before that. Then actually got to know him pretty good.
College rodeo?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Where was that?
University of Montana Western.
Was he actually enrolled, or was Cole just kind of like lived in the same town?
Well,
that kind of went to school with? Or?
I think he was actually enrolled. I was more the one that I was just in town.
Yeah. Right. I remember because everybody was just like, Ole, the coach down there, Iola Els. And because Butner wasn't there. He was just around. And she was like, I've got to get this Butner on the team. She's like, this guy rides bronc. Because you'd already won the high school finals, hadn't you?
Mm-hmm.
At that point. And I hadn't met him or anything. I didn't know anything. I just knew it was like, apparently this Butner dude is the real deal. And I'm not rough like trying to blow smoke on you, but it's like I remember because Jake Hayworth had even said, it's like, this guy's gonna make the NFR. And I had known this is before I had even met you, laid eyes on you or anything, and everybody was like, oh no, this dude's the real deal. And turns out they were half right.
Yeah. Sort of.
We this year I did it a little different at the NFR as far as the rodeo time crew. The guys that I take out there and myself, rather than getting a room, we felt like it was we all get along great, so that was a start. Well, we wanted to get an Airbnb as opposed to just a hotel room, 4 rooms, everybody split up into 2, and it just anyway. So we got an Airbnb and it was great. We got to cook out. We got to just chill. We were at a house. We didn't have to walk 1.5 miles to get to our rooms.
Yeah.
We weren't tempted to gamble.
Mm-hmm.
It was just I don't know that I spent. I don't even remember gambling.
Yeah.
I don't know that I gambled. Did I gamble?
Yeah. When we went to that rock and roll party.
Oh yeah. And then Cowboy Cerrone was there that night.
Yes.
And then I lost. I did.
Yeah.
I lost. I think 500. I won back like 300 or 400.
Okay. Yeah.
And I left down. Financially, not emotionally. So anyways, but we're back at the Airbnb, and that was just a cool way to stay in Vegas this year.
Yeah.
So we got Dalton. He had Cowboy Channel app, and so we got to watch the NFR every night. And I can't remember which round it was where we discovered how big of a fan Cole is of
We're buddies. We're buddies.
Yeah.
Butner. But I mean, I know the feeling. I've seen buddies ride there. It's just you get excited for them. But so heck yeah, Butner. The way he said it in his up north, Butner.
Yeah.
So randomly throughout the day, we might yell at Cole, Dale, yeah, Butner.
I was pumped. I apologize for nothing. I was pumped for it.
Yeah.
I was pumped when Ruger made it. Like I was yelling for Ruger too. And it was just.
Ruger Piva. Piva. Yeah.
He
Piva.
also went to college with us.
Yeah, Ruger Piva.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
I wasn't name dropping. I was just
I know you weren't.
You should be pumped when your buddies are there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I can remember and you would never, you would say their first and last names all the time, together all the time. Like Kevin, whenever he's just constantly calling me Dale Brisby. I have known Kevin for 2 years. Like, hey, Dale Brisby.
Ruger Piva.
Thank you, Dale Brisby.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I can't remember which rounds it was. Did you win a round?
No, I never did get one.
Okay.
One.
Gotcha. You got second in one or something, didn't you?
Yeah. I I can't even remember now. I think I tied for second in one round.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, shoot, it was a freaking good time anyway.
What'd you get on in the eliminator rounds? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I know one was Miss Ellie, and then I was trying to remember the name of the other one the other day.
How'd they go for you?
Went good. I got them both rode.
Yeah.
I don't think I made money on either one of them though.
Yeah. Here's a little different atmosphere in the locker room.
Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
E-Pen night comes up, it gets pretty quiet in there.
Yeah. Well, so what's next when you out at San Antonio?
I think I'm up there the 20th and the 21st.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dale, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Any other little Texas rodeos you're going to?
No, I think we make a run over to Florida.
Kissimmee?
And, yeah.
You gonna go to Kissimmee?
Then go to Jackson, Mississippi, and then, of course, we got the American qualifiers.
What, do you know how many perfs you went to last year?
Yeah, I maxed out. I went to 100.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's the count? What's the max for bareback riders? Isn't it lower than that?
I don't know what
I
that
think
one
it's
is.
lower,
I know.
which is weird.
I knew bull riding was higher.
Yeah.
Just because of Ruger, but
Right.
Ruger people.
I guess I've never asked bareback
pretty
riders
sure
what their count is.
Sterling was pretty notorious for maxing his out.
Mm-hmm.
That joker would go to so many.
Oh yeah.
He would go to all of them.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, just especially early on, the mind game of, well, with 100 perfs it's probably not as bad as, but trying to decide which ones to.
Oh yeah. It's weird to think about. I mean, I never thought about it till last year, but kicking the winter off and just trying to go to everything is
And then
really not the best idea.
Right.
Turns out.
Yeah, it turns out.
Yeah.
Then you count everything. You do good at some of them, and it's like, son of a gun, it's September and you got like 4 left.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I remember.
That's such a dumb rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would suck so bad.
Yeah, I remember just before the 4th, I think we were already like 35 or 40 rodeos. Like, ooh, that's not good. We don't have that many rodeos left, really.
Yeah.
But
That's
it turns out to be
so
a
silly.
lot. But
because all you want to do is rodeo.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and then all they got to do is let you,
Yeah.
and then you can make it.
Yep.
But you got this, I don't know. I guess I get it for certain people in certain situations where it would help this or that, but like, I feel like let the kids play.
Yeah.
So in September, you had to slow it down, not go to some?
Yeah. Kinda. Like, we just had to be a lot more picky about
Which ones you went
which
to.
ones we went to.
And then dadgum, you're getting down to the count. It's like, you got to make this count. Even if you do have more rodeos. Like, it's like, but you only have so many that you can count.
Yeah, there's only so many left, even if you got them left.
So I just realized, of sitting here talking for the last 2 minutes, essentially, you're only allowed, if there's 52 weekends in a year, 100 rodeos, 100 performances that this man entered in 52 weekends. That's a lot. Well, that's all he can count. So if he goes to 105, he's got to pick before you're entered, while you enter, you've got to pick which ones you're going to count towards your 100.
Yep.
So, for instance, if you wanted to go to Mesquite one day this summer, for some reason you're in Texas in June and you got a Saturday that, you probably wouldn't count Mesquite towards your 100 because, when you win it, it's going to be $680.
Mm-hmm.
So you would say, I don't want to count Mesquite.
Yep.
But what if come September you're battling it out with Sterling and you're down $400? Even Mesquite back in June sure would have helped to be able to count that $680.
Yeah, it would have been a big help.
Yep.
But I mean, everybody's got the other thing is everybody plays by the same rules. So essentially, there is that added, you know, like I said, there's probably flip sides of the coin that I don't understand. But in my mind, as a rodeo cowboy, it's like let's rodeo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's go to them.
Mhm.
Especially right now, it's January.
Yeah.
Go to Kissimmee. Go to freaking, you know, fly back to get to Los Fresnos.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I mean that would be good for Los Fresnos, would it not?
Oh yeah.
And Mesquite.
Yeah, I did help all them.
Because what's probably going to happen is in June is you're not going to go to Mesquite.
Yeah.
And I think there'd probably be some arguments that some circuit guys who are going to Mesquite would probably appreciate the fact that you're not there. But I don't know. There's always two sides to the two stories
Well,
to be had.
I think that's the main argument for it is try to keep the top guys out of the smaller circuit rodeos.
Well, and there's another rule. For instance, you coming from up north, if you wanted to claim the Texas circuit, to go to our circuit finals, you would have to go to 30 circuit rodeos. Whereas me living in Texas, I would only have to go to 15.
Yep.
And that kind of rule, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if Court Shear wanted to come out of Nebraska and battle it out with a young guy trying to make it to the circuit finals, well, like, okay, he needs to go to 30 rather than 50. That kind of rule, I think, makes sense.
Yeah.
And maybe it's along the same lines as maybe that it's in the same vein. I don't know. But I'm not the one making the rules. I'm glad I'm not. I feel sorry for those who do. That's just
Same here.
my hot take.
I don't want any part of it. They're doing a good job with what they're doing.
Is there anything you plan on doing different in 23 than you did in 22?
Well, yeah, start the winter off a lot better. Or the whole year.
Okay, so check.
So far, so good.
So far it's working out good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything else?
Not really. Just make everything count.
Was there any big moment, story-wise, fun-wise, that happened in the rig this last year with Sage and them guys that you found yourself sharing a story?
Yeah. We all had to grow mustaches. Is that what you're getting at?
I was going to ask about the mustaches.
Yeah. So after the finals last year, them three decided that we needed to have some sort of competition.
Because bronc riding's not enough.
Yeah. Had to do something else. So yeah, we all grew mustaches out and decided the first one to shave it had to buy the rest of us like a steak dinner, had to pay for a whole day of messing around, like go jet skiing, do whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever we felt like. And yeah, whoever was paying for it didn't get a say in what we were doing.
Yeah.
Everybody else got to pick.
So if it was skydiving, there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they'd had to fork it out.
Gotcha. So who won?
Well, we ended up so we made it to the finals, and of course we were all too pig-headed and stubborn to pay for anybody else to eat or have fun. So we made it clear to the finals, and we're like, well, shoot, we gotta do something since we all kept them. So we got with Wrangler Nation, and we had them help us start a little page. People go on, vote, and everything. Cost, I can't remember how much it was, like $5 or something a vote.
Yeah.
And then we took all the money from that and gave it to the golden, was it Golden Circle or something?
The drug ring?
No, for the kids that are disabled and stuff and need some extra money. So
A good cause.
yeah, we donated all the money to that, and I ended up winning that. But then we just made it fun. So
Yeah.
I got to decide what they did to their mustaches for a day in Vegas.
Nice.
Oh, what'd they do?
Sage had to shave everything but just the tips. We put a Hitler stash on Wanchuck, which that ended up being perfect because he had to go have breakfast with his parents and a new sponsor that day.
You're gonna keep that?
Yeah. And then Chase, I just made him buzz it straight down the middle.
Oh, perfect.
Then we all wandered around Vegas, went and played Top Golf, went to a couple shows, and hung out for the day.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it's perfect because all of the pictures, because when you're at the Cowboy Channel Athlete of the Week or whatever, like, just this first year you make the NFR, and every picture of you've just got a pencil curled mustache on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks for making the trip to Winnebago, not far from Fort Worth. We're obviously Dale, Butner, big fans. We usually wrap these up with some life advice. So, what's kind of a motto that's kept you going over your 9-10 years of path to the NFR?
Well, I just found something that I really enjoyed doing and decided that's what I was going to do. And, no matter what, just kept going and made it work.
Love it.
He who rebuilds fastest ropes most.
Yep.
Yeah. When life hands you lemons, put a bull rope on them. Pow, and on to the next one. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And text the word podcast to 940-353-0890. And don't forget to check out dalebrisby.com, where we've got a deals you can feels. All right? Rodeo Time apparel. Pow, and on to the next one. Let me find the. Hold on, I got to get the. I think it's this.
Add it afterwards.